This past Saturday was a great game for us. It was the definition of a trap game. You know, we were coming off of a big emotional win against Arkansas State. FBS opponent, in-state, right down the road, big build-up, all that type of stuff, and you win that game. We spent a lot of emotion on that football game, and then you couple that with you're playing a team that's 0-4, that's much better than their 0-4 record. I mean, Abilene they're second in the conference in total offense, averaging something like 7 yards a play offensively with, one of the top quarterbacks in the deal. They had played Houston Baptist to overtime, got beat by one play. I mean, there was, one play in overtime, they lose the football game. Northern Colorado, who beat Northern Arizona, who's really good. Northern Colorado beat Northern Arizona this week. That was a 55-52 game, so they lost it by one play. They go up to Air Force and score 21 against Air Force in a 37-21. So they lost by 16 at Air Force, and Air Force is who beat Navy this week. It was undefeated. So they had been in some very, very close. And, it was a 10-hour trip. We left here at 8 in the morning. We pulled in. By the time we got off the bus, I checked my watch. When we got off, it was 6:03 when we were getting off the bus. And we pulled out of here at 8 o'clock. So it was 10 hours and 3 minutes later. So you couple all the emotion that we spent playing a good team that's 0-4, that's a lot better than that, with a 10-hour trip. It was a definition of a game that you could find yourself in trouble in if you're not ready. But very, very proud of the guys' efforts for coming out and playing extremely well against a good Abilene Christian football team. It was a total team win. I think our special teams, Brad mentioned the kickoff return was that scored points for us, but the punt team scored points for when we punted. The first punt, Patrick Ponder booted it down. The ball rolls dead at the 1. On first down, they run quarterback sneak and gain a yard. On second down, they get in the shotgun deep in their own end zone and run a little dive play trying to get it out. And Terrence Partee stuffed the nose back, and Jordan Tolliver came from the other side. And we tackled them in the end zone, so that got us our first 2 points on the safety. So that was 2 points they got us. Then the kickoff return got us more points, and then Matt Cummins did a good job kicking. I thought our kickoff coverage was excellent. We did a good job of covering and pinning them deep, which, with their offense being as explosive as it is, it made them take the long haul. And that's been our philosophy all year is if we can make you line down and do it again, sooner or later we're either going to get a sack or somebody will pick it, or we'll get a fumble or a tackle for loss. And so that kickoff coverage was huge. So very, very proud of the play of our special teams. Defensively, played exceptionally well again. We held them to I guess it was under 60 yards rushing. I think they rushed for 54, 58 yards, something like that. So that's 3 out of 4 weeks, or I guess it's 4 out of 5 weeks that we've been able to hold the opponent to under 60 yards rushing, which, again, if you can make a team one-dimensional, I like our chances. Offensively, a lot of good things. I think we had 8 different guys run the ball and something like 7 or 8 different guys catch a pass. So there are a lot of guys contributing, a lot of guys playing really well. This week it was Keyshawn Ledette who stepped up for us at running back. Keyshawn was a young man who walked on last year, was a member of our scout team last year and played really well down on the scout team. This spring had a good spring, and it really wasn't getting much of an opportunity this year because we had some other guys stepping up, but had a great spring and had ran the ball well and really had a good week last week in practice. And, told Larry, I said, well, let's give him a shot. The kid hits it hard, and he's a worker and a team guy, an unselfish guy. We said, well, let's put him, about 3 weeks ago, we put him on kickoff coverage where we kick it off and run down there. He can fly, and he made a couple of tackles on that. We've got him on our kickoff return team as a guy that gets in front and blocks. Made a great block for Dwayne on the touchdown run. And then yesterday, well, let's get him in there and let him run the ball some. And he ran the ball extremely well, hit it very hard, and made a couple of outstanding runs. Was pleased with the play of Hayden. He protected the football, 0 interceptions and no turnovers. So this is 2 weeks in a row without a turnover. We did have a fumble on a 4th down where we had gotten the first down, we fumbled, backed it up, we fell on it, but we fell on it that much shy of the chain. So we need to work on that. But as far as interceptions and straight turnovers, this is 2 weeks in a row where we haven't turned the football over, and very, very proud of that fact. So offense, defense, and special teams, all contributed. George Odom had another, he was National Defensive Player of the Week against A-State, and then he followed that up this week with another outstanding game. He made some great tackles on kickoff coverage, where we pinned them deep on the punt team. He made a tackle on that, had the interception for the touchdown right before the half. I'm debating. I think we go up. It was something like 30 to 13. We kick off, minute and a half to go right before the half. We've got 2 timeouts. We back them up. And now the decision comes, do you let them run the clock out? And are you happy that it's 30 to 13, you go in at the half? Or do you burn a timeout, which stops, and now they may have if they score, you're kicking yourself going, geez, you could have went in 30 to 13, but you call timeout. Now they score and make it 30 to 20. Well, they throw an incompletion on 1st down, which stopped the clock. All right, so now and then they ran it on 2nd down and we stuffed them, so we burned the timeout. So now they're going, now we got to get the 1st down, or they're going to get it back at midfield. And George made a great break on the football. They threw it and he picked it, and that really created the separation right before the half and made it a 37 to 13 game. So, George is an outstanding football player, and and has played really well all year and continues to do so. Very pleased with the play of the defensive line. Those guys, Partee, Tolliver, Hadnot, Eric Jackson, Chris Terrell had another big tackle for a loss on the reverse. He had one a week ago against A-State where he created a turnover. They ran the same play, a little reverse. He got upfield and got a tackle for a loss. He's a freshman. That is playing really, really well. So a lot of good things. We came out of it relatively healthy. We've got an ankle here and a shoulder there, but nothing major that we sustained during this past game. So this open week comes at a really, really good time for us. It kind of breaks the season up into 2 halves. You've got the long preseason, the 3 weeks of practice before the first game week. And then we played 5 games, you add that, so that's 8. And then the 1 week before that, so that's 9 weeks that they've been going. Now we have the open week with 6 remaining conference games left. So it really breaks the season up well and comes at a really good time for us. The last couple of years, the open week has been the game before the last game of the year. You're kind of ready to play at that point in time. You need the open week right where we've got it. We're going to take full advantage of it. We're going to get in the weight room today with our guys. We'll watch the film from this past weekend and correct the mistakes and see where there's some things that maybe we could have done a little differently. And of course, congratulate the guys who did really, really well. And then we're going to get in the weight room good. Tomorrow we'll be back out on the practice field and start getting the guys ready for McNeese. And then Wednesday we'll be in the weight room and on the practice field. Thursday just practice, and then Friday just weight room. So this will give the guys a chance. We really want to use this week to build their bodies back up, let them eat, let them get some rest, let them get in that weight room big time, because they work so hard from January through July, pumping iron and eating and really lifting and all. And then you go from August through September of it's a grind, and a lot of that muscle that they build up, it deteriorates and atrophies. And so this week is a big week to get back a lot of where we were at the end of summer. So and to heal up and get ready to go against a very good McNeese team. McNeese had a big win this past week against Nichols. And Nichols looked to be, and I know they're a great football team. I mean, they took Georgia to one play. They had Georgia whipped. and they took South Alabama, who just beat San Diego State, who was number 19 team in the country. They took South Alabama to overtime. Well, McNeese just beat them by, I guess it was 28, something like that. It was 38-6 at one point, something like that. So we're going to play a very, very good McNeese State football team down in Lake Charles. But it's a game that our guys have been looking forward to. We've kind of had it circled for a while. Last year McNeese was they won the conference, were undefeated, regular season 10-0, and we had them on the ropes. We were up in the fourth quarter, and let it slip away. And this is a game that I know our guys have really been looking forward to since that time last year, and we know how good they are. But we're excited about the challenge and looking forward to the opportunity.